Hello, my name is David Sand, CEO of Uwin Iwin International. Welcome to another version of the Uwin Iwin Breakfast Show. Today I have a very special guest. He is an advisory board member to Uwin Iwin. He has his own business in the tech development space. And Ian Joule, we are so pleased to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure indeed.
Ian, I have left the intro up to you because if I had to write it down, it would be a long list. But I'd rather you give the audience your own version of what you've been doing and how you've come to this role.
Oh, excellent. Kind of look at it in two ways. You know, you look at your profile based on firstly your education and then your experience. What's interesting is that education sometimes doesn't intersect with your passions. So I started off in business management, and then halfway through it I realized that I wanted to do IT, and then made the shift. Okay. So eventually I ended up with 3 master's degrees, and I'm now currently doing my doctorate. And that's the abridged version.
What's your doctoral thesis in? Yeah?
I'm looking specifically at how users behave around adopting technology.
Right.
And whether the theoretical models that are out there fully capture those usage behaviors. And the area of specific adoption is around social media and focused within South Africa. So I've done almost all of it until the findings and recommendations, which is like your chapter 4 and chapter 5, and that's what I'm refining, preparing to defend it in November.
Wow. Well, Good luck with finishing that. I'll have to call you Dr. Ian.
No, my wife's not going to allow that. Okay. Until she gets her own doctorate. Okay. Then I'm permitted to use the title.
Okay. Oh, brilliant. You also spent a lot of time in the Microsoft business and did a lot of traveling in and out of Africa. Yeah. Just tell me, where were you based and a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I did like a bit of a round robin. Started off in Zim, then when the Zim office closed, moved to Namibia, then came to the Joburg office, spent some time in the Joburg office, then headed off to Kenya. All in all the 56 sub-Saharan African countries, excluding of course South Africa, were part of my portfolio, including places as far as Reunion, all the way to Tahiti, just off the Australian coast. Was part of this then West, East and Central Africa.
Crazy, hey? Yes. And I think from my point of view, I want to learn as much as I can from you and your experience across the African continent. But also because Uwin Iwin has such a big tech stack in it, your tech advice, your tech understanding will be of great benefit to me personally, and that's really what the advisory board is, to advise the CEO in the best possible way. But as one of the newest members of the Uwin Iwin advisory board, how do you see the current tech landscape and trends that will influence the Uwin Iwin future?
Well, the first point is whenever you want to gear yourself to take advantage of what's happening in the market, you have to almost like introspect and then look at how you're positioned internally, firstly in terms of your operational efficiency and being able to use the technology in a dog-fooding type of environment to improve yourself. And it's in that experience that you then realize that we now have the capability to be able to benchmark our productivity and our ability to go to market vis-a-vis the competitors. Right. And that competitive landscape, then you look at where's the trend and where's the market going. So when I look at Uwin Iwin, it's almost like two-dimensional. The first dimension is how do we become better internally at what we do, using technology to be able to be more productive. And it's in that productiveness that makes us quicker to market, that makes us more responsive to clients. And then when we are talking about what we respond to clients with, then we're looking at the product features in comparison to the competitors, but also in comparison to the opportunity. So it's almost like a double-edged sword. So whilst we are fixing the internal side of things, yes, we need to be able to keep our eye on what's happening competitively and where we stack up and what are the technology differentiators that are going to give us the competitive advantage. So there is a bit of rolling up of sleeves and getting things done that needs to be done in those two areas.
Yeah, 100%. I think any business that's not focused on digital transformation internally and using technology to become more efficient and robust in its internal capabilities is missing the point completely. And I think that's one of the reasons why we started understanding the people I'm offering, because we needed a robust human resource tool to help us manage our growth and the number of people, and the more people you have, the more complex the relationships are, etc., etc. And that became a very efficient tool to help us support our people pillar in our business. But I like the way you framed that, and it's certainly something that we're on that journey.
Absolutely.
And we're also on the journey of continually innovating our product set that we offer the market. Uwin Iwin started our product journey in 1999 when the internet was in its infancy. 24 years later, 25 years later, we have now to embark on a reinventive next phase of innovation. Not that we've had that tech for all that time. We have been various iterations of that technology. But I certainly feel that innovative surge in my body and my energy levels that we want to capitalize on all these cool features around AI and what's in the new tech climate to offer the value add to our customers. So it's an exciting moment, going to require a lot of energy, going to require a lot of wisdom, and it's certainly wonderful to have your wisdom on board.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I think for me, the greatest thing is the people within Uwin Iwin, and just that excitement and the fact that you're dealing with individuals that have a long track record of success and whose passion is to make clients successful.
Yes.
And I think when you can latch in on that noble idea, then it makes the time in the office, the time creating and working, that much more exciting.
Yeah. And let's just go to the Pan-African landscape. As we've mentioned earlier, you've worked all over Africa. In your view, what's it going to take for Uwin Iwin to accelerate its Pan-African ambitions?
One of the key things that Africa, presents to any technology-driven company like Uwin Iwin is, one, the fact that the people are different, they're dynamic, the culture. So it's absolutely important to harness the nuances of specific areas, the East African culture, the West African culture, the Southern African culture. These are uniquely different and distinctly identifiable. And those things need to be expressed not only in the way that we do business in those areas, but the way that the application interacts with the individual. Yes. I'll give you a very crazy example. Is we all consume social media, whether you use Facebook, you use LinkedIn, you use all of these things, and we all use gestures. Yes. It would be amazing for you to realize that in Africa, when you go to East Africa, there are different gestures that are not actually captured anywhere. Okay. In South Africa, the way that people use this gesture is very different from what it is expressed in a social media platform.
Right.
And it's such an opportunity for us to take our African nuances and be able to express them in technology. And I think Uwin Iwin has that opportunity. A great example of unique African success is M-Pesa.
Yes.
And the way that they have taken the adoption of mobile and added a wallet to that, and accelerated beyond the capacity of the banks. When Safaricom went on their IPO, their net worth was larger than the entire financial sector of Kenya.
Amazing.
And these are the opportunities that the continent gives. And I think an African-based company has the better opportunity to take advantage of that because we're from here. We can see it, we understand it, and we know how to leverage it.
Yes.
And I think that's where the opportunity is. Keep our identity, but let's leverage the nuances within the continent.
Absolutely, I love that. I'm going to onboard what you've just said, and really the cultural differences are amazing, and I've had to dial back my Joburgness when I'm in Kampala. Let's get it done, to be more relaxed and more in tune with my African brothers and sisters. And it's very, very interesting, this sort of cross-cultural dynamic.
Absolutely.
Is amazing to witness, and it's so rich, and I just love it, and I learn so much every time interact with the different people from different countries. So I know you have a son that's studying and following his dad's footsteps in the tech world at Stellenbosch. You've got 2 other children. What's your hope for your children's future in Africa?
Yeah, I think like every other dad, you always hope that they would be able to express their giftings and their talents as broadly and as deeply as they can.
Yeah.
But then I also realize that the environment needs to be there that enables them to do that.
Yeah.
So when I look at that, then my aspirations become a little bit more macro than micro. And my hope is that Africa would begin to see real true leadership at country level that would unlock the potential of the youth that we have, and for my kids to grow up under that environment. Then they can be everything that they want to be. So the future of Africa is really locked in the leadership, and our generation has to push for that transition to pave the way for the next.
Yes, indeed. Ian, thank you for your point of view, for being part of the longer term Uwin Iwin success. I look forward to many more conversations like this. Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity, this breakfast show platform, to make you known to our Uwin Iwin audience. It's already been exciting. You've added huge value already to the Uwin Iwin team. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, David. Much appreciated.
Thank you for joining us and listening to this wonderful interview with Ian. Please leave your comments below on whatever social media platform that you're viewing this interview. But more than that, as a potential client, if you are a potential client of Uwin Iwin, we'd love to engage with you. The reason for doing these shows is to enhance our brand and to meet new customers. So please reach out to us. We'd love to help you solve any of your human resource challenges, any of your incentive programs that you need to drive sales in the sales environment, or a broader recognition and reward for all of your staff members across the organizations that you work in. So please reach out to us. And finally, my tagline is keep winning. We hope you keep winning, and look forward to having conversations with you. Thank you.